As soon as I step into the lobby, I see a transgender flag. But no child is transgender, right? So right there, you're teaching that a boy can be a girl and a girl can be a boy.
But how do you know, unless you are that child, how can you read their minds and what's going on inside them?
Well, if a boy thinks he's a girl, then he's not thinking clearly because he can't be a girl.
But there's a difference between gender and the body parts that we're born with. Gender is different than body parts.
What is gender?
Gender is how you think of yourself. Like some people.
Morning, Steve. Morning.
Their body parts are not matching how they feel about things, so as far as who they are as a person.
How do they know that their body parts aren't matching how they feel about a person?
Because that's how they are. We can't be inside their heads and inside what their feelings are. So, I mean, neither one of us can be inside that person. Only that person can relate how that is. And so I've listened to people who are transgender, and I've listened to their story. They didn't choose this. It's just how they were born. That it's not matching.
If a short person feels like a tall person, does that make him a tall person?
But that's totally different. You can't do that.
I guess I'm lost on your definition of gender. It's how you feel about yourself. So that could be, well, I feel I'm tall, I feel I'm short. By your definition, that would be gender. What's gender?
Well, it's one of those things that you can't. It's not concrete. It's something that's inside. Have you listened to people who are transgender?
I've talked to many people who identify as transgender. And I've also talked to a few detransitioners too.
And do you think they're choosing that? That's a choice that they're making? Like, would you choose to become a woman?
Well, first of all, let's get back to what we're talking about. What is a transgender child?
Okay, as a teacher, I do remember one child who was born with boy body parts, but he felt like he was a girl inside him. He felt like he related more to girls, and he was only about, he was in 4th grade, so he was probably 10. Okay, I don't think he was, I mean, he wasn't like a teenager yet, but yet he felt like he was a girl and related to being a girl. And we, not being that way, I can't say, and like you can't say either, because you're.
Well, could this boy say? Because how does he know what it's like to be a girl? What does a girl feel like? I don't know.
Yeah, but I guess to me, I respect the rights of everyone, okay? And I think the whole thing about what's going on here is they want teachers to be held responsible for notifying parents if their child is identifying as, if has boy parts, but identifying as a girl, whatever. As a teacher, teachers build trust with their students. And if all of a sudden a teacher has to, well, this boy is now saying that he wants to be called a she, and I have to call the parents, where's that trust? I mean, the trust is now forever broken for the
law only says that if the parent requests, you need to give an honest answer. So you wouldn't have to call up when a parent said this. The other thing is, if I saw my child, it's usually girls, deluded into thinking she might be a boy, probably because she doesn't meet gender stereotypes, or maybe she has autism, bombarded with messages, I'd want to be the parent right away before I saw my daughter start down a path that would lead to sterilization and double mastectomies, opposite sex hormones that would lead to vaginal atrophy and bone problems, premature menopause, and with that dementia. I'd like the parent to know it's a dangerous ideology what you're talking about.
And then I see a danger, and I read or heard, I think I read it recently, not heard it on TV, but that there was one parent who said she would rather take the chance that her child commits suicide than not know that her child was identifying as transgender. Now, to me, it's like, well, I think okay, I have two grandsons. If one of them, one is 11 and the other one is almost 13, I know that if they would feel comfortable telling their parents, sharing with their parents. I know I've been born with boy body parts, but I feel like I'm a girl.
How would he know what a girl feels like?
How do you know what I don't know.
I don't have a choice. I'm a man, and that's the only thing I can know what it feels like.
Well, I know what it feels like to be a woman.
Well, I do too. I do too.
But it gets back to.
But you're thinking binary. That's either this or that.
Yeah,
It's a binary.
we're either male or
Science
female.
tells us. Absolutely, 100% of people in this world are male or female.
Well, see, I think it's a spectrum.
He brought up suicide. Those suicide figures you get from the Trevor Project are absolutely bogus. Those come from a solicited online survey. But you don't know what a transgender person is. I don't either. Someone that says they're transgender, as far as I know, it always ends up circular.
I tend to believe them. I do. I believe people who say they are.
Could they tell you what transgender
is? I would not
is?
choose to become a man. Okay, I would not. I'm not transgender. Okay, I wouldn't choose that.
No one can
I don't know
choose.
why anyone would, unless, there's something inside them that doesn't match their body parts.
Well, the kids are bombarded with this on social media. That's why the autistic kids who spend more time on the computer and might be misfits, are more susceptible to this ideology.
I don't think it's an ideology, and I think they're not. Having been a teacher,
You think it's science?
I think that you're thinking that this is being taught in schools. It's not being taught in schools.
Schools don't have gender unicorns up?
I don't know of any that do.
Okay, do schools have gay straight alliances?
They do in high school.
Okay, I've
They
checked.
do in a high school. Yeah.
I've checked their videos, and at those things they're teaching kids that they can be in the wrong body. And as I said,
they're not teaching them that. The kids are. No, they're not teaching them that. They're accepting.
I've watched the videos. They very much are teaching that.
And you think all of these are the same. Every school is doing the same thing.
Well, if I go into a school and the school requires teachers and students to say a boy is a girl and a girl is a boy, then they are teaching that a boy can be a girl and a girl can be a boy. If a girl comes in and says, I have to, let me finish. If they say I have to use male pronouns for someone who's obviously not a male, then I'm coming up with an alternate reality, and whatever delusion this girl has, I have to play into.
No, we disagree.